Yeah, so if you haven't been paying attention, these people are kind of crazy about Saint Eva. They really like Saint Eva.
Oh, you went to the city with the giant cathedral and everyone's super religious.
I know, it's shocking.
I know. So unexpected, these twists.
Yay, yay, praise Saint Eva, ha ha ha.
That's an instance where I would kind of hope for voice acting, because that can really change that sentence.
Yep.
Yay! Yay! Praise Saint Eva! Ha 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 ha.
Well, you'll see.
I love the church. I'm cool with the church.
Yeah. I mean, there's the ... and the character model is different than the normal townsfolk. So that could be a thing.
Let's praise Saint Eva. ... That old man is hanging out by the trees.
Oh no!
Creepy old man.
Yep. And then there's this endless set of stairs.
Are we in Anne Orlando?
No, we're in Mario 64. Princess Peach's castle.
Get out of here, scrub.
Get on my level.
What, you don't even have holy vestments? Fucking noob, get out of here.
Yep.
A wonderful place because of my prayers.
Yep. Only the most devout get to come to Evray.
Or people with giant birds.
That too. Most people don't have that though.
Yeah, you kind of hacked their system.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Da-da!
Can't get out of town.
Haw!
It's so cold.
Oh.
Oh.
I was right!
Yep. This is...
Ooh, is this the start to our agony playthrough? Are we gonna be seeing people making walls out of dead babies with old man faces?
I mean, you're not too far off.
Haha, yay. That old lady.
Yeah, she was saying earlier, wasn't she from Farmtown? And I think she was directing you to Claire, or Clarice, I guess her name is. But we don't. Oh, also, all of their dragon tier icons were green. Now they are the lowest.
They're glurple.
Yep, they are glurple.
Bad illness. We are dead.
Something like that.
We envy the ghosts and the restless dead.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know what that meant.
She wants to hack her way out.
Clearly, yeah.
She sees your young people, and the young people know how to use the computers.
Yep.
And are good with the hacking. Go over to the keypad by the door that's not letting us leave and push numbers until it can let us out.
Hey kid, help my computer. Stop all the download.
Help computer.
Yeah, so this guy seems okay.
Well, he's got that good insulated armor.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, everyone else in this town is cold because St. Eva's apparently doesn't believe in climate change, and now it's becoming winter.
Yeah.
So everyone are in these robes. They look heavy, but they're like the desert robes that are designed to keep the cold in.
Right.
And like, everyone's nipples are showing. Just everyone's, which some people are like, oh yeah, but then it's like all the old ladies and the old men, and then those same people are like, oh yeah. This is good for both of us.
St. Eva's pretty depraved. ... Question mark. You're believers of St. Eva, aren't you?
Haha, no.
My name is Clarice. Just like you. Decent human being. Oh ho!
I am good human.
Yep. Yeah, so for some reason, this is the second worst dungeon in the game.
Everyone's acting strange.
It's almost as if their souls were taken. St. Eva
uses them for demon's energy. Da! Hey, Occupado!
I'm in here! Yeah, so this is the second toilet level.
South of Farmtown.
Oh, that's right. They were talking about the old lady from Farmtown, and that was Rand's mom, not Clarice. Maybe.
You jump in the toilet?
Yeah, I wanna... No, not that way.
But I want to just fight and murder everyone.
Yep. So, this dungeon doesn't have a boss. But for some reason, the enemies are the fucking hardest things. Like, probably not in the game point-wise, but for the point in the game where you are, this is the hardest thing in the game. And I don't understand why. There's just this fucking giant dungeon here. And it's got all sorts of, like... You don't just go to the bottom and get out. You have to go to, like, the third level up or something, and then find your exit. All the while, you've got these fucking random encounters with these horrible monsters.
So, I know that this is just the base cave tile set. Mm-hmm. But the fact we're in a toilet, the color of these walls is making me very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's like, holy shit, and the dungeon designer was like, yeah, now you're getting it.
Perfect. Great idea. Yeah.
Give him the old chop chop.
I could, but I think a normal attack probably does more damage. I don't know, I'd have to experiment, but since I'm not actually playing right now.
What?
Ah!
Oh no, he's in this for breath.
Yep. Wow.
Good job, big.
Glad I was guarding, even though that doesn't affect spell damage at all. Yay, Bolt X.
I think I've only ever played one game that had a fun Chimera fight.
Oh, yeah?
Dragon's Dogma.
Oh, okay.
Because you can climb up on and attack specific parts and kill the heads individually.
That makes sense.
Makes those fights neat.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just like, here's a monster. It's got weird faces on it.
Yeah.
Enjoy!
I was having an interesting idea last night as I was listening in on your Ironclaw game. For games with, like, for tabletop games with monsters, with, like, giant monsters and whatnot, wouldn't it make sense to make each individual part have its own hit points?
Yeah.
Like, that might actually make for a really neat epic battle, where first you have to get through its giant swinging claws, like it won't even let you get near its vitals. And then once you bust those claws...
So, there is a quasi-tabletop role-playing game system from Warhammer called Inquisitor. It's old, and it used 58mm models, so models that were like twice the size of your regular tabletop models.
Okay.
That didn't last too long and wasn't super popular, both because the models were of a scale you can transfer to other things, but the really interesting part of that system was each individual character had individual hit points for each of their limbs.
Neat.
It was horribly fiddly, and only the people that are like super into the whole old school revival of I want my RPs to be as fucking complicated as possible.
Right.
Like this. All the people that want accessibility shied the fuck away from this system.
Advanced Dungeons and Dragons nerds is who played that, I guess.
Yeah. But taking that rule system for each having individual health bars, and furthermore, individual levels of damage based on their health bars, like you can have a limb that's perfectly fine, you can have a limb that's broken, you can have a limb that's incapacitated but not broken.
Yeah.
So it's easily fixed. You can have a limb removed and now the character has to get cybernetics for that part. Like, the amount of detail that went into it was frankly unsettling.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. I think it would work probably better for giant monsters.
Yes!
Because it has a cinematic purpose.
Yes.
Rather than just being fiddly. But, yeah, it's an interesting idea, and I'm contemplating... I'm not going to do it in my current Pathfinder game that I'm DMing, but if I were to do something else at some point, like, I might put that in there just because it would be interesting. Yeah.
Well, I notice when I'm watching other DMs, like especially some of these celebrity Dungeons and Dragons streams and stuff.
Yeah.
The DMs will occasionally have like enemies lose limbs or have things incapacitated.
Yeah.
And it always feels either like the players have to specifically target it repeatedly, or it's kind of an arbitrary thing where after they hit a certain health point threshold, the DM's like, yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's kind of like Monster Hunter in that respect, I suppose.
Yeah.
You got specific parts that you can knock off, and those parts prevent the creature from using those attacks.
So suddenly I'm reminded of the Yu Yu Hakusho card game of all things.
Okay.
So normally in that card game, players play teams of 4 characters with a 5th in their deck that they can get out later.
Okay.
And it's a series of 1v1 matches, and the best 3 out of 5 wins the game.
Okay.
After the card game went on for a while, they introduced a new alternate mechanic where a player can play a king instead of an entire team.
Okay.
And the king is one character made of 4 cards. And for every 4 points of damage, which is the damage threshold of a normal character, they lose one of their parts. And by losing one of their parts, they lose one of their abilities or attacks.
Okay.
So you start as this hyper-powered god character, but then as it progresses,
You get worn down.
you lose abilities.
Interesting.
And you lose access to different kinds of attacks.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I figure if you're going to do that for a D&D tabletop RPG monster where you have individual health values, each part also has the attacks it can do. Like you have on their main stat block the attacks, but then also what limbs are doing them.
Yeah, well, I would even stat out different armor classes for different things.
Probably.
Probably a lower armor class for its underbelly than its carapace, or something like that.
Yeah.
And but the carapace could do like horn attacks, whereas the underbelly could do crush attacks. Like it would basically be different monsters, but attached to the same location.
And now I'm going to have to look up if anybody has ever made a Monster Hunter tabletop RPG game, because I'm sure that, of all things,
Yeah.
would have the most in-depth rule set for exactly what you're talking about.
Probably.
Because that's the whole fucking point of Monster Hunter.
Yep. Yeah, that would take a fair chunk of reworking of the rules.
Of course. Anytime you're taking a rule set from one system and moving it to another, you need to fuck with it.
Yep. Oh yeah, this place is called Jackdoor. I forgot about that.
That's weird.
I don't know why.
Jackdoor.
I guess because this game is poorly translated. Like that's just the reason.
Yeah, I can't really think of anything that makes sense of that.
Yeah.
I mean, if they said John Doe, I'd be like, I get it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because they're Japanese and they got the J names confused.
Possibly. They're both common J names.
Very common.
As opposed to Jason!
Jason! David Cage.
Yep, he's a hero to everybody.
He's a hero to everyone who wants to watch people in showers.
That too. But he's also a hero to everyone. We're just going to ignore that those two overlap.
He's a hero to all children French voice actors.
Yes.
Who can't speak English.
Yes. I wonder if the R stands for rear. Like rear guard.
For some reason I read that as Royal Guard, and I'm like, the slug is royalty.
Oh, no, that was the goblin.
Ah.
The slug, I think, was... What the fuck was the slug called?
Road slug.
Oh, road slug, that's right.
But no, what I was thinking when I saw that, for like the split second I was paying attention, it's like, they're his guards. They guard the royal slug, and then it's like, no.
Yeah.
No, my brain is doing that thing where it reads words wrong.
Yeah. Hey, you want to know how running is determined?
Random?
It is random based on the frame that you press the button.
Huh.
So, running is a lot easier when you're using an emulator and save states.
I can imagine.
But can't use save states while I'm recording.
No.
That fucks up everything.
Can't be a gigantic save scum.
Nope.
Gotta man up and do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They did not balance this thing very well.
No, this fucker's annoying. Makes me want to shoot myself or something.
You know what he feels like? He feels like a Nemesis-style monster where he's chasing you around.
Yeah.
And there's only one of them. But the trouble is, that requires him to appear on the map so you can see him and attempt to evade him.
Yeah.
And the game isn't doing that.
No.
Dude, that would make this dungeon interesting.
Yeah.
'Cause it's like, we need to get out of here. Why? Well, we need to escape this town for one thing. And two, there's a monster that lives down here that we can't take on.
Right.
We can slow it down, but we're not equipped to kill it.
Yeah, we can stop it temporarily. But nope, it's just a random encounter.
I actually really like encounters like that.
Mm-hmm.
Where you're running from something that outclasses you, and then later on you come back and you kick its ass.
Yeah, that's nice.
Once and for all. The trouble is, way too many games instead you're being chased by this thing that's way too tough for you. You get to the end of the zone. Okay, now you can fight it.
Right. Yeah, like Final Fantasy VIII was coming to mind when you were talking about that sort of thing. And you fight that giant spider robot.
Spider robot car, yeah.
Yeah, and like there is a point at which you can mechanically kill it, but it's specifically on the bridge for some reason. And there are a couple points afterward when you fight it also. It's really weird, and like you have to do a certain number of hit points of damage, but specifically on the bridge, otherwise you just kind of stop it in its tracks for a little while. And how the fuck are you supposed to know that that's the case? And then, like, later on, you're running from it, and it gets shot in a cutscene and dies.
Yep.
Granted, it's a cool cutscene. It's kind of neat to see Quistis fire off these dual turret things.
Well,
blasted to pieces.
I think you just summed up the entire problem with Final Fantasy VIII.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's a cool cutscene.
Yep, there you go. Yeah, like, I remember really enjoying Final Fantasy VIII specifically because it had a lot of cool cutscenes. And then I went back to a second file and I'm like, I kind of hate this game. I don't like playing this. This isn't fun.
I respect Final Fantasy VIII more than I enjoy it.
Well, it tries different things.
It tries a lot of weird things.
Yeah.
Like, I like the fact that your summons have their own levels and HP bars. I think that's a neat idea, and I think they did that a lot better in 10.
Yeah.
But I don't think they would have done it in 10 if they hadn't tried it in 8.
Right.
Or at least they wouldn't have done it as well in Final Fantasy X if they hadn't done it in 8.
Yeah, probably.
I think the draw system is a neat idea. I hate how it's implemented.
Oh, it is so grindy. So stupidly grindy. Like, yeah, you don't have to sit there in battle and draw from your enemies. There are draw points where you can get multiples. But those draw points fucking, like, they have to recharge. So you get multiples, and then you have to go around the world finding other ones if you want other spells. It's obnoxious and shitty.
I feel like the better way to have done the draw system is to make it more difficult to accomplish, like almost capturing a Pokemon level, and it increases your maximum charges of that spell.
Yeah, that could be neat.
And there's a limit of how many you can draw from a single type of enemy. So you don't just sit there and grind your way to 99 whatever.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, instead of worrying about an MP meter, your magic system is working more like D&D, where you have a finite number of spells to cast.
Right, you got a memorized spell list. Yep.
Instead, it's like, no, we're treating spells like items.
For some reason. We're treating spells like items that you can then attach to your summons, which give you more stats. Which is like, what? This doesn't make any sense, but okay. Like, think about the junction system from
God, I forgot.
From a non-gameplay perspective. And tell me how much sense that makes.
Forgot about junctioning entirely.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VIII is just weird.
Yeah, it really is.
Because the whole thing is time travel and multiple timelines converging at once, but they're not on separate timelines, they're at separate points on the timeline.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
And you get a spaceship, and there's a cowboy. And everyone grew up at the same orphanage, but forgot for some reason.
Because apparently using Guardian Forces drains your memory. Like, that's the side effect of having powerful things on your side.
Like, I find that element of that plot twist interesting. Like, I love the idea of power at a terrible cost.
Yeah.
And that is a really insidious cost. Especially if the first thing you forget is that these things drain your memories.
Yeah.
Because, like, holy shit, how do you ever get out of this? This is like the worst monkey's paw devil deal ever.
Pretty much, yeah.
And then it's like, they use this really neat idea for the dumbest twist in any Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
It's like, we all grew up at the same orphanage. Okay, 1, what? 2, why does this matter?
Yep.
We're not related. We just grew up at the same orphanage.
Yep.
And how the fuck did Sid and Adina go from running an orphanage to these super soldier schools?
Mm-hmm.
How?
Well, to super soldier school and running a military nation.
Like, these career paths, I don't see the connecting lines between them.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's really stupid.
Like, when you hear that, it's like, wow, Sid, you must have had a really interesting life in this transitionary period. And his answer seems to be, yeah, and you'll never fucking know.
Yep.
And what's really infuriating about that, now that I think about it, is you go back in the past and you play as people in the past doing shit in the past. Is it how does Sid go from orphanage manager to running the school of super soldiers?
No.
No.
It's entirely unrelated.
It's this other fucker.
Yeah.
Like, back when I first played it to this day, I don't understand what the point of Lagana is.
Yeah, I don't think there is actually a connection other than that you meet him later in the game and he helps you out.
And the part that infuriates me the most about that is, he has the coolest song in Final Fantasy VIII.
He does. His fucking battle music's great.
Man with the Machine Gun is the best song in Final Fantasy VIII. Whoever likes the love song, you can go fuck yourself. Man with the Machine Gun is awesome, and it's for the side character that doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
At least we got Triple Triad.
Which I hated.
I love Triple Triad.
What's funny is, I hated that, but I love Tetramaster. And I hate card games as a general rule. But, like, I actually bothered with Tetramaster because it wasn't a total pain in the ass and the rules didn't change wherever the fuck you went.
Yeah. What always amused the shit out of me in Triple Triad is some of the most powerful cards in the game were the main characters.
Yeah.
But in universe, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Oh, no. Not at all.
It's like I show up with a card of my face. It's like it's the most powerful card in the game. Fuck you.
Yeah. It's the most powerful card in the game. Fuck you. And, like, people are going to be looking at you and be like, you fucking made this card yourself, didn't you?
And then they see your weapons and see that you're killing these giant god monsters and they're not going to fucking argue.
Yeah, they're like, okay, you can play it.
It's like, if you're just going to cheat to win, I don't understand why you're going through all this trouble. You know what? Fuck it, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go play Sid and he's like a god beast at this card game.
Yeah. So you get a free night's rest.
Sweet.
Yeah. You may recognize this from the place where we changed Nina out.
It's the inn outside of town.
Yep, exactly.
The whole reason why this building exists, clearly.
Pretty much. You gotta have the toilet connect to somewhere.
Yeah.
Couldn't just connect to the sewers and a treatment plant or anything.
Couldn't pull an 8 Mile on this.
Nope. Yeah. God. Glad that dungeon's over.
Yay.
It wasn't, like, the worst this time through, but there were, like, in my first file, I died in that place so many fucking times. And it was so obnoxious because you can't leave Evray.
Oh god, so if you're under-leveled...
Yeah, if you're under-leveled, you basically have to grind in that dungeon and hope you can survive.
Ugh.
Yeah, it sucks. It's awful. There is an item shop in Evray, so you can buy shit there. It's not like you're gonna get soft-locked just because the place is fucking ridiculous, but, like, yeah, it sucks.
Then again, back in the day, rotate your saves in case you end up in a situation like that.
Can't do that in this game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Fuck.
you save, you start a file, and then anytime you save, it goes to that file.
That's right. Save rotation didn't really start until the PS1 era.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so... Oh-ho! This is the Rebel group!
Never came back.
Don't you think it's odd that she hasn't even written to me?
I mean, sure, she might have dumped me, but more likely the church is evil. I mean, am I right?
Yeah. Oh, look, it's a Highlander who looks just like Trubo. Sometimes have a problem because he's claustrophobic.
You know what would be awesome?
Ah.
You have a game like this, where the setup is like this, where it's like the church is evil. And you have a town of people that's like, yeah, fuck the church. My wife left for the church and never came back. And it's like, my dad said he went to the church and then we haven't seen him again. And there's all these people that have just been abandoned.
Yeah.
Like, the church isn't doing anything. The people they're talking about are just fucking awful.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
It's like this universe's equivalent of going out for a pack of cigarettes is going to church.
Yeah.
It's like, no, they just ditched you, man. Like, throughout the entire game, you hear these people like, yeah, I left my wife and I've never been happier, or I left my husband, I've never been happier, or man, I can't believe I got away from my kids so easily.
Yeah.
The fuck is this guy?
Yeah, so this is where Kat's part of the story starts.
Oh!
I'm the leader, Tiga. What can I do for you? We heard from Claris that you are battling with St. Eva. Is this true?
Tiger!
Uh-oh. So there's a reason you need Kat to get into this place.
Oh, shit! He's gonna Satsui no Hado her straight into the bed.
Yep. That's not a god, that's just a fraud.
Oh god, the spines are everywhere. Are we gonna walk out of this door and hear yowling?
Probably. You guys don't like him either?
Yeah, we hate St. Eva almost as much as Kat hates pants.
Yep. Tiga hates pants too, to be fair.
They have so much in common.
They do. He thinks they do.
We're broke as shit.
Yep. Sponsor went to Thieves' Tomb and hasn't returned. And that wasn't a one-time typo. That is what the place is actually called. Thieves' Tomb.
Can you bring our sponsor back? And if he's dead, can you bring back all of his money?
I love how Kat just becomes your spokesperson because she's required.
Then we can fight together.
Yeah.
On those beds. Back there.
Nope. We're gonna wrestle.
Why does cat sex more than anything else sound like they're murdering each other?
Because cats are fucking weird.
I guess.
And weird when fucking.
I think that's true of every species.
That's true.
And I think I just answered my own question. It's because every species is unique about things, and the unique thing about cats is they are full of hatred.
Yeah, they're just like mud crabs. They know only hate.
Said it before and I'll say it again, that is a very pretty bird sprite.
Yeah. And it's got pretty music. Yep. I suppose this is near the end of the session.
Yup. Aha, and we ended it on cat sex. Perfect! 10 out of 10.
We're furries.
10 out of 10.